Yo 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 what's up? What's going down? How we doing today? How we doing today? How we doing today? We are checking in today with this week's episode of 30 minute break. Where I try my best to give a live stream in 30 minutes or less. So today's topic we're gonna actually do kind of a reaction to a I guess we'll call it an interview that Matt Ryan did or he conducted on when is the best time or when is the ideal time or should the Falcons even bench Kirk Cousins? And this is on the this is after the Falcons, of course, are coming off, two real tough losses against New Orleans. Also coming off a embarrassing loss against Denver. And in both games, Kirk did not look good. He did not look like what we have seen in past games from Kirk Cousins. So, CBS Sports brought Matt Ryan up there, and of course they asked him about it, and he spoke on it also. So, we'll talk about that. We'll discuss that. Like I said, we're gonna do this in about 30 minutes or less. So we're gonna read a couple comments. We're gonna get this show on the Rizzo. Keanu's man is in the house. What's up, Tyler? Keanu's, how you doing today? How's it going? How is it going? Appreciate you coming in. Miss Lisa in the building as usual, checking in for the 30-minute break. Yes, welcome in, Lisa. How you doing today? Hope everything is going good. Rusty Moore Jr. is in the building. Say we missed the playoffs this year. With all we have invested in this team this season, is someone's job on a hot seat. If that happens, Arthur Blank was clear that was the expectations for the season. I think it really would depend on how the team look. Like, if the team misses the playoffs and they have more Denver Broncos games than Kansas City games, then yeah, you can see a couple people lose their jobs. If the rest of the season looks like the Denver Broncos and we miss the playoffs, if we happen to miss the playoffs and you got more Kansas City games out there that we lost, Arthur Blank may run it back. Arthur Blank has shown in the past that he's a pretty patient owner, compared to the other field of owners. David Starks is in the building. What's going on, David? How you doing, bro? Appreciate you coming in. How's it going? Yeah, so let's bring this interview up, man, and let's take a look. Let's take a listen to what Matt Ryan had to say about Kirk Cousins and the possibility of him getting benched. So give me a moment. Let me get this pulled up real quick here. Getting rain here today, and it's a little bit cooler. So again, adjusted to that a little bit. All right, there we go. So let's get this pulled up here. Share screen. There we go. So this isn't a very long interview, so we'll take a little bit of time and, we'll listen to it, and we'll react to it. Let me see if I can blow it up a little bit. There we go. That's a better picture. Let me move myself down. There we go. All right, so here we go. Y'all let me know how the sound is. So there we go.
Quarterback change. Not from me, but whispers nonetheless.
Wow.
Atlanta Falcons. There are some saying with Michael Penix and how he looked on like the 3 dropbacks that he had, is there any chance with the way this season, if it continues with Kirk Cousins maybe struggling down the stretch here, that you would ever go to Michael Penix as a rookie? Or what do you think the plan should be with Michael Penix going forward?
I kind of like what their plan and approach has been so far, right? Of kind of letting him develop, giving him ample amount of time to develop on the practice field, and being committed to Kirk Cousins. I mean, it's 2 bad weeks for.
I'll stop it right there. I'll say so far, I definitely agree with Matt Ryan. I like the procedure that the Falcons are going right now with Penix. let him develop in practice, and then on the rare occasion that you have a total blowout, like we saw Sunday, hey, let the kid get in there and throw the ball a few times. Let him get in there and throw the ball a few times, and let somebody hit him a little bit, so he know how it feels to take those NFL hits. So I like what we're doing with Penix so far also. But let's see what else Matt says.
For the Falcons, 2 disappointing losses. They're still in first place in the division, right? And to me, I don't see them making a decision like that, given that they have an opportunity to go to the playoffs, win this division, right? And unless it goes in free fall, and it would have to be, in my opinion, a couple more weeks, right? We're not talking about next week or being on the hot seat of what we're looking at. We're looking at multiple weeks where you lose a division lead because it's a very, very winnable division.
So Matt says we're not talking about if Kirk plays bad again next week, you bench him or you sit him down, or even the following week. He used the word a couple weeks, which I guess technically means 2, but I think he meant to say a few weeks. He probably doesn't know the math of us making and missing the playoffs like we do as fans. I'm sure in his current position at CBS, he has a lot on his plate, so he's probably not as in tune with the Falcons playoff math as he was when he quarterbacked the team. So I'm going to assume he met a few more weeks. And he used the word free fall, and that's pretty much saying that, and that goes back to a question I think Rusty asked and I answered. If we start, looking like the Denver Broncos again, a few more weeks, a few more games that we have to play, then at that point in time, the team is going nowhere fast. We're regressing, and especially if Kirk continues to play bad, which I don't think gonna be the case, but I mean, you never know. Kirk is getting up there in age, but like Matt is saying, like, hey man, if it just starts to turn into like a shit show, then you got to bring the Ricky up a little faster than you like to.
And they're going to hold the tiebreakers over the Bucs with the 2 games that they beat. They beat them, and so I want to change the approach. I like the approach that they've had. They've been committed to developing him. They've been committed to Kirk Cousins. I would continue that route unless it goes into an absolute free fall.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins is the known commodity. We went out and got this guy because that was the piece, that was the spark plug to your offense. And we've seen it at points in time this season where the offense looks fantastic. We've seen them stall as well. The unknown commodity is Michael Penix. I agree with Matt. You do not make this move unless we see this stretch 2 or 3 more weeks of this kind of sputtering. They got demolished by the Denver Broncos, but I still think Kirk Cousins gives you the best chance. You talked about leading the division, the tiebreaker against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Without Kirk Cousins, they don't win that game.
Yeah.
You get into a shootout, that's the guy that you're going to want. That's the guy that gives you the best chance. If I'm in that offensive line room, I'm saying I want Kirk Cousins. I know Michael Penix could be the guy down the road, but don't push the panic button now, and I don't think your guy's going to.
To me,
yeah. And this gentleman, I'm sorry, I don't know his name, but he said something. Oh, Kyle Long is right there in front of me, Doug. But Kyle Long said something very key. If I'm in that offensive line room, and that's one thing that's one component that us as fans, we don't consider a lot, when we have these conversations or debates or what have you, is how do the vets feel in that locker room? Or the vets in the locker room, are they still firmly behind, Kirk Cousins? Do the veterans believe that, hey man, this guy Kirk Cousins has been in the trenches with us all year long, since OTAs, running plays with the first team, coach, we are not ready to give up on him just yet. Michael Penix should have a very long career in front of him, and he one day will get the keys to the car. But right now, this is Kirk's offense, this is Kirk's team, and Kirk is not the main reason or the sole reason that this team has taken a downturn. And I'm speaking, of course, hypothetically, and I knock on wood it doesn't happen. if the team continues to lose. So that's the point of view that I'm speaking about right here. So, overall, so far, I do agree with Kyle Long, agree with Matt Ryan, also in what both of these gentlemen are saying thus far.
Reeks of anyone asking for this, reeks of recency bias and FOMO. You are looking around the rest of this rookie quarterback class. You're seeing what Jaden Daniels is doing. You're seeing what Bo Nix is doing for those franchises. And you're saying, why don't we have that with Michael Penix? It's like, hey, easier said than done. A lot of rookie quarterbacks look more like the Bryce Youngs of the world than those guys do. So I do think that I'm pumping the brakes. I think that'd be absolutely crazy. I'm not even considering a change like that until like what you said, Matt, that this division's either out of hand or you're behind the 8 ball in it and Kirk's really play going south. But at this point, I don't think it's anywhere close to that. I'd like to see any of the quarterbacks really do well against what that Broncos defense was throwing at the Falcons offense yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in agreement. Atlanta, listen, they're in the unique position, different from the other organizations with rookie quarterbacks, right? Where they've got a legitimate chance to go to the playoffs, and you've got the legitimate amount of time to develop a younger player. Mm-hmm. And you have to take advantage of both of those.
100%. To me, it feels like if we scout some quarterbacks, Matt.
Dang, I did not mean to hit that. Let me go back. Sorry about that, y'all.
More like the Bryce Youngs of the world than those guys do. So I do think that I'm pumping the brakes. I think that'd be absolutely crazy. I'm not even considering a change like that until like what you said, Matt, that this division's either out of hand or you're behind the 8 ball in it and Kirk's really play going south. But at this point, I don't think it's anywhere close to that. I'd like to see any of the quarterbacks really do well against what that Broncos defense was throwing at the Falcons offense yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in agreement. Atlanta, listen, they're in the unique position, different from the other organizations with rookie quarterbacks, right? Where they've got a legitimate chance to go to the playoffs, and you've got the legitimate amount of time to develop a younger player.
Mm-hmm.
I like the point Matt makes right here when he says we're in a very unique situation as opposed to the other teams with rookie quarterbacks. We have a legitimate chance to make the playoffs, which we do. I know we on this 2-game skid and we look terrible these last 2 games. I get it, man. I understand that, but we still have a 74% chance to make the playoffs. And we should make the playoffs. If we don't make the playoffs, yeah, some heads probably will roll at the end of the regular season, and rightfully so. So when he says we have a legitimate chance to make the playoffs, hey, don't change nothing right now. You still in the driver's seat. You still are going to control your own destiny if you just go out there and do what you're supposed to do. And you still have a legitimate, scenario in being able to sit Michael Penix down and develop him. Give him enough time to develop. Don't throw him right out here to the wolves. And we are seeing right now with a lot of these quarterbacks who are coming out and they're starting, day one. Most of these guys are not, Jaden Daniels, as a rookie. Most of these guys are not CJ Stroud as a rookie. Most of these guys who come out and they're starting day one and they have all this stress that they're dealing with of trying to remember the plays, trying to, as a rookie, be looked upon as a team leader, because no matter what, as a quarterback, you're one of the leaders of the team. So you got a lot on your shoulders now, and we're starting to see, man, it's taking a toll on a lot of these quarterbacks, man. Bryce Young started from day one and he was absolutely terrible. They had to bench him, sit him down, and let him just, hey, man, chill out, watch for a few weeks, a couple weeks, put him back in. Then he started back playing better. So, let Michael Penix, let him go through his developmental period. So unless we're just totally forced to, I see no reason to put Michael Penix in the start lineup personally.
And you have to take advantage of both of those.
100%. To me, it feels like, if anything, like when the Chiefs had Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Smith was fine that year, but you're not going to unseat Alex Smith for Patrick Mahomes until then, maybe this offseason. If Penix really you think he's the guy, then by all means make that change, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. What is up?
All right, y'all. So that was that. As far as that interview goes, and since we are talking about Michael Penix, y'all, let's take a little bit of time and just let's watch Penix in the Broncos game when he came in. Let's watch a couple of his throws. We won't watch a bunch of his film, but let's see what everybody else saw that got people. It's not a bunch of people, maybe a couple people here and there saying, "Hey, you should start Michael Penix." So let's take a look at that here. Give me a second. You should see that on the screen right now. So let's take a look at that and see what everybody else saw. So this is going to be the first play of the game with Michael Penix, y'all. And they let him come out throwing the football. Drops back. Very decisive. That, hey, he threw a great ball. You cannot deny that. He got it out of his hand quick. Looked one way and darted and shot to the other way. So this was a great pass from the rookie right here. This is what you want to see from a rookie quarterback. His first play of the game. Look at that. Comfortable in the pocket. Whew. Look at the velocity on that ball, man. That's what you want to see from your rookie right there. That was a great play. And also props to the offensive line, even though this game is well over, they're still doing a good job of protecting him. So, Penix definitely looked good on that play. Let's go and see if we can catch another pass. Man, he threw a bullet right there. Low snap. Session speak, let's it rip. And you know what? I think this is Casey Washington, the receiver. If this is one of the starters on the outside, they probably bring this down. If this is Drake London or Darnell Mooney, they probably bring this down. And it looks like he got hurt in the play also. So that might have had something to do with him dropping the ball, but this is another very good pass. He put the ball where only the wide receiver could catch it. He had his check down here. This guy right here is gonna break open, but he's like, man, bump this. I'm about to let this ball fly. I don't get many opportunities to play, so I'm not worried about a check down, and I'm not mad at him for that either. Low snap. It looks like this is probably his second read. I think this is a run play, this next play here. I think he throws one more pass. See if we can catch it while we're still looking. That's a running play. There it is. Look how quick he gets the ball out. This is what you want to see. He gets his ball out of his hand in like 2 seconds, y'all. He's wasting no time getting his ball out. That's what you want to see from your rookie right here. Just let him continue to develop and get better. He's looking damn good throwing the football, man. That's a completion of Cordero Hodge, who was one of the heroes earlier this season. See, Kyle Pitts is still out there, so he's still throwing to some of the starters out here still. But that's a good pass. Yeah, so we'll stop it right there, y'all. But what do y'all think? What do y'all think about Michael Penix? Do you rush to bring him in to play now, or do you continue to sit him on the bench? I will say this, like my thoughts on it, man. I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't want to see Michael Penix starting this year. I'm just gonna be blunt. For the obvious reasons, if Michael Penix starting this year outside of Kirk Cousins getting injured, what I'm knocking wood, that means something very bad happened along the way of the rest of the season. You know, that means we started the free fall like Matt Ryan mentioned earlier. And I don't want to see that. That if Michael Penix is starting like week 14, week 15, week 16, probably means we're not going to make the playoffs again. And that would be the 7th consecutive year. That's not what I want, you know. So no, I want him to continue to be on the bench, continue to sit down and learn. And the only time I really want to see him, in situations like this when the game is out of hand, but I want it to be out of hand in the Falcons' favor. I don't want us to be on the bad side of a blowout loss, and then he comes in. You know, I want us to start blowing some teams out, and then bring him in for some mop-up duty. But no, I'm not on the start Michael Penix bandwagon. And speaking more on Kirk Cousins, you know, Kirk's last 2 games have not been the greatest, but Kirk is not playing bad enough where he deserves to be benched at all. I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. You know, he's had last 2 games have not been his best, but he hasn't been like absolutely terrible either. You know, so I want to make that known. As y'all know, if I feel like a quarterback is playing terrible, I'll tell y'all. You know, I'm not shy about saying that. But no, he hasn't been terrible. He's just not been his best football as an Atlanta Falcon that we have seen Kirk Cousins. Some of the main things the last 2 games, he has not had a touchdown pass. I really think he's going to bounce back coming off the bye week. You know, I think the time off will do him good. And I think he'll come out on a mission and to show people like, hey, I'm the starting quarterback of this team for a reason. But overall, you just look at his initial stats. You know, Kirk Cousins is still completing 68% of his passes. You take that all day long in the NFL. 68.1. In fact, he has 2,807 passing yards. He has 17 touchdowns right now and 9 interceptions. That's not bad. That's not bad. His rating is a 96.6. That's actually fairly good. And you know, the touchdowns fell off again because the last 2 games he didn't have a touchdown pass in any one of those games. But I think he will, you know, pick it back up here coming off the bye, as I mentioned. Looking at some of his past games throughout the year, normally when Kirk has like 2 mediocre games, he'll have a big game. That has been his pattern so far as I'm looking at the stats throughout the season for Kirk. So I think he will bounce back this game against the Chargers. You know, and he'll probably put up 3 or 4 touchdowns, and this whole Michael Penix thing will be a very, very distant memory. But again, I don't think Penix should start. You know, we are not at that point yet. As long as we are in playoff contention, Kirk Cousins should be the starter. If for some reason, you know, we happen to get eliminated from the playoffs, which would be such a travesty, and then at that point you consider bringing Michael Penix in and maybe start. But even then, I mean, that's going to be that would be such a decision that would change so much going forward, because if you bench Kirk, it's hard to go back to Kirk. You know, that's just how it is. You know, when you've had a starter for that long and you bench them, it's hard to go back to him. You know, at that point in time, Kirk may request a trade. You know, and that's another component you got to look at. And also, if he's not playing absolutely terrible football, how do you go tell your owner, like, yeah, I convinced you to give this guy $100 million guaranteed over 2 years, but I just put him on the bench? Also, it's hard to explain that to Mr. Blank. You know, yeah, this is what I did with your $100 million. He's on the bench. So, you know, we're paying him just to be on the bench. So he has to be playing absolutely terrible. You know, he has to be playing terrible for everybody to see. It can't be borderline, because again, you got the money factor there. And then we're still on the hook next year for him to get paid. You know, his cap hit next year is $40 million on the cap next year. So there's a lot of components on this. You know, you got the financial politics that are involved in this as well. So let's just hope we really don't have to entertain this very much. Let's hope the Falcons come off the bye week and they get back to winning. Because, you know, as we know, winning solves all. Winning solves all. Let's go in the chat real quick here before we get out of here. This Christian Lewis in the building. Says, hello, Falcons fans. How you doing today, Christian? Hope everything is going good. Winston Thornton from the eye test is in the building. Make sure to check out the eye test here on YouTube. They will be on live tomorrow night at 10 p.m. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure to show them some love. Subscribe to the channel. Winston says, what's up, Bucket Chat? Smash the like button. Yes, please do hit the like button. Thank you, Winston. Casey dropped the ball because he caught a concussion when his head bounced off the ground. Yeah, I saw he got up very, very, very slow. It was pretty apparent that he got injured. But that was a good pass. You know, Penix put the ball exactly where he needed to put it. Where only the wide receiver would have an opportunity to catch it. Jeezy the first in the building says, I think he says let him sit. Winston also says can't bring him in yet. If we lose the divisional lead and we're in a tailspin, then throw him out there. Other than that, Penix shouldn't touch the field for the next 2 years except in mop-up duty. I definitely agree. And you articulated that better than I have here. And that's pretty much what I've been trying to say. Like, look, there's no need to rush to Michael Penix era. As long as Kirk Cousins in there playing good football, as long as we're in contention to get into the playoffs, just let him sit down, develop, and like Winston say, you know, he come in during mop-up duty situations. You know, let's not rush this. Let's not get in a panic because, you know, there's no guarantee that we can turn the page to the Penix era and he come in there and do any better. So I totally agree. Chris said I would hate to put him in when the season is in this state. Myself as well. And I think that's why, you know, me and, you know, some of the comments that I've read, like, no, you know, just let's hold what we got for right now. You know, I think as Winston said, if we're in the tailspin, yeah, then of course, you know, that then you put him in. But at that point in time, you know, we're out of playoff contention. We probably lost 5 consecutive games or something of that nature, which I'm hoping don't happen. You know, I feel like this fan base deserves a winning season this year in a playoff berth. Ark in the building. What's up, Ark? Says, I'd rather carry on with Kirko, but who's to really say that Penix, if he has, can't get us at least to playoffs still? Yeah, you're right. You know, that's the uncertainty because we don't know. You know, we definitely don't know. You know, he could come in and, you know, he could have magic behind him, you know. We really don't know. But I'm really hoping that we don't even get to that point. I'm hoping Kirk Cousins gets this team back on the right track. Falcons start back winning. We go into the playoffs and we play some good ball in the postseason. Jesus said, to be honest, I think the Saints have maybe given the league the blueprint, to our offense. I'm hoping to get back at home against the Chargers. And I know that's going to be a tough game. You know, Chargers are a good football team. But I'm just hoping, you know, getting off the road, getting back home, off a bye week, you know, that's going to give the guys an opportunity to relax. And they played 11 consecutive games, you know, so they need to heal up a little bit, spend some time with their family and loved ones, and, you know, come back after the bye week rejuvenated. I'm hoping that rest and relaxation will be the antidote that this team needs to get back to their winning ways. But yeah, I want to say thank everybody for tuning in, man. I'm at the 30-minute mark. Y'all know I be trying to keep this thing right at 30 minutes or less, because y'all know I get on here and start rambling. So I'm not, you know, ignoring the comments, but I done hit my 30-minute mark, and this is the 30-minute break. So I need to try to keep these right around 30 minutes. With that said, you know, I'm gonna check out here. Make sure to check out the eye test tomorrow night, 10 p.m. I want to thank y'all for your time. I appreciate it, man. I'll see y'all soon. Go.